This is Mr. Cool for the fix. Today on the W203 Mercedes C24 C230 on AC issues. Have you had that kind of a problem where you install a compressor on C240 or C230 or C300, the direct fit compressor, and just maybe within 2 days or maybe 6 hours of you installing the compressor, the solenoid control valve just failed? Or is it up to a week? Either ways, you might want to stick around because the information which I might be giving you free of charge today might help you to diagnose and know exactly where the problem is coming from. As you can see in this very system here, it's working and it's stable. But I've experienced that kind of a system on this W203, which I was trying to draw your attention to know, to look down that the compressor which I installed there is not the fixed slash screw type, but the variable compressor that is controlled by the solenoid control valve. So in this case, I did get this car working fine. In the next 6 hours of testing it, this compressor control solenoid valve failed. And throughout my history of working on car AC system, I haven't had those kind of issues before, and I have to use my money to get another compressor. As you can see it, you can see the compressor down there, right? I have to use my money to get another compressor to find the problem and fit another compressor into the system. And this time I decide to opt for the non-electronic control valve type for this model, which I did, and that one worked just like within 30 minutes of testing, it frozen up. But in that case, it locked up, which I'm going to be revealing how to solve this kind of compressor that locked up in the next video that's going to be on my channel. So in this case here, I'm going to be pointing and directing you to some things you need to do if you're working on a Mercedes firsthand trying to solve this problem, and you are sure that everything you've done is correct. Like, you check for dirt inside the system, you flush the system very well, you look for affected pipes that might be broken internally and leaving some debris inside the system. For those are on trade models like this one, the system is pretty much, this is 2020, you're talking about 17 years. If it is for Toyota, I will have no problem. Regardless of the reading you're going to be getting inside, it's still going to show if this problem exists. For Toyota models that I've been working on for years, the electronic climate control system wiring are stable and not making a mess like Mercedes or W203, which I have come across. So when dealing with Mercedes, a lot of carefulness, a certain degree of carefulness has to be involved. You can see in this system, I've not fully charged it because I don't want the system to be overcharged. It came to my garage overcharged, so I'm trying to keep that on a low profile to be between undercharged and uncharged. So if it's supposed to be taking like 800 grams of refrigerant, I'm planning to feed it 750 or 700. It's still going to cool fine. The owner is not going to complain. All he needs inside his car is the AC to work. So before working on this kind of a system that shuts electronics control solenoid valve, I want you to check the system, inspect it piece by piece. Every part, every component of the system has to be thoroughly checked. I repeat, every component of this system, of this AC system, has to be thoroughly checked talking about the electrical, the power that goes to the electronic solenoid valve, because I do hear that there is a power surge, maybe due to defective parts on this W203, which, based on the kind of complaints I've been getting from some other mechanics, draws my attention to actually know that there is something either wrong with the electrical system or the system itself. Some of the research which I've did have point towards a dirt inside the circuitry of the AC system. I mean the refrigerant circuitry, not electrical circuitry. So if there are dirt there, that is going to get the electronic solenoid valve stuck. But the kind of dirt that I'm expecting that I think is going to do that is particles. But in my own case, I did everything. I flushed everything, changed pipe which I suspected to be having internal damage, and yet it happened. Now, what did I fail? What didn't I get? The owner never told me that I've made some bypass before, but that is for the record. So the need for using a voltmeter to actually check the power that's going to electronic solenoid valve in this car is very, very important. I repeat, the need to use voltmeter to check the power that is going to the electronic solenoid valve is very, very critical when trying to diagnose exactly what shorts one solenoid to another. It's not enough for you to just check the amount of refrigerant or the intactness of our cleanliness, the pristineness of the sanity inside the circuitry of the AC circuitry. So if you do this, the electrical checked, the intactness and the sanity inside the refrigerant circuitry checked, and replace the dryer, condenser, and flush the system very well. I think if you check the voltage and it's within the accepted range, everything should be working fine. But if it is out, you have to figure that out, so you don't have a messy situation like I have in this very car after fixing it in the next 6 hours. Okay, if this helped you to solve your problem, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you some other time. This is Mr. Cool Auto Fix signing up now. Bye for now.